I said Overload and Arc and Void, I want to say. That sounds like I think I would say.
Yep.
I guess I'm just gonna run Div again. Oh, actually, what's the burn is made the more pertinent question.
Solar.
It is solar burn. It is why I'm all solar.
What if I ran Ruinous Effigy and a solar LFR?
Who could say?
I could do this. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I could do this.
I'm running like ungod-rolledified cataclysmic, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm. My thought when I did it before was I was going to bring Hollow Denial, the new trace, with adaptive munitions on it, thinking that'll cover any other shields that come up, but it turns out that almost all the shields are void. So, like,
Yeah.
I barely got to use it.
I'll deal with it.
So instead I am bringing my solar golden tricorn trace rifle from Dares. Which
Yeah,
will
I'll
be
go with my
better at
first
murdering
instinct,
things.
which was Nightwatch Div Cataclysmic, I think.
Speaking of weapons from Dares that I finally got to use effectively, that I just want to gush about for a moment.
Sure.
I got to use my battle rifle with
It's a good gun.
yeah, but it has demolitionist and blunt execution rounds, and I finally
Yep.
got to use it in 6v6 in the Crucible. And every time blunt execution rounds goes off, oh my goodness, just two-shotting people in the body. It feels
Oh,
great.
yeah.
I had shelved mine for
disgusting.
ages because I got perpetual motion blunt execution rounds because perpetual motion was new and fancy and I wanted to use it, but it turns out that's not how I like that gun. So I just got a demolitionist blunt execution rounds one, which I am happy to actually get some use out of.
It's a very good gun. I like it.
It's also full bore with accurized rounds, so this thing can shoot miles.
Mine has arrowhead accurized.
Trace rifles are expensive. Okay. I don't need the extra melee that bad for this. It's fine. I can lose that.
No. For me, melee's almost a dump stat.
It's not on this build because I'm doing the snap thing, but it will not proc often enough for that to matter here. So I can lose 20 points off it without it being a big deal.
In fact, I'm changing my melee over resilience because I was doing more fun stuff earlier.
Can I get 100 resilience on this build? I think I can't. This armor gets me a 96, which is close enough probably, but also frustrating. Yeah, that's probably fine. So yeah, I'm coming on stops and overloads and solar heavy arc special. It all seems fine enough.
Yep, I got it all covered.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at my mods one last time to make myself feel a little better.
Do not worry about the exotic in my heavy slot, it's fine.
I'm not going to worry, but I am going to look at it. I'll look at yogurt first, though, to stall for the big reveal. Watermelon Lord, as always.
Ooh. I like Captain's plan.
I am the least amount surprised I could be.
It worked when I did it before.
Yeah,
This has in fact been tested.
Zero questions. Zero, zero comments, zero
You've proven yourself reliably with that. I cannot... The most I can say is it's
I
not
was,
for me, and
I will
have
say,
on many occasions.
when I was on before in the test run, it did work very well, apart from the times where I was being one-shot from full health by the Cabal Stomp, so I have melee resistance on now.
Yeah.
Oh, I should check my resist, actually.
Well, I'm going to stand in the back.
I'm going to do concussive against Armor of the Dying Star, I think. That sounds reasonable.
I'm also going to be very much careful from my previous experience, because those trace rifles will one-shot you no matter how many solar resistance you have on.
Yeah. Actually, that is a good point. I'm going to put on a sniper resist instead of an arc resist.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll do sniper against Armor of the Dying Star, because I know there's solar and void damage here.
It's a lot of solo, but yeah, there's void.
So
well, also,
what
like,
I'm
general rule of
thinking,
thumb is like you want. I know you want the resist of the burn always in this new model.
the specific instance I'm thinking of is so after the train section, you go up those flight of stairs, right? And then there's the fight with the 2 trains and all the Vex. And those snipers have shut down a team one time I was on.
Yep, those
just
are,
because you
those
know you just get
ones.
unlucky. They're looking. So yeah.
It's also the one instance of a barrier hobgoblin like up in a place that is very hard to get to. So you just sort of have to plink at it from a very far away range.
Sure. I think
The other one, I can be invisible and just simply backstab it like I'm playing some sort of RPG.
Are you still modding yogurt or?
I'm good. All good.
I am ready. Have a ghost shell with Prosperity Vanguard on it.
Oh, I did not do that.
Pals with some reasons. Visit a prison.
I put on my Prosperity Vanguard.
All right.
There was a reason I said that aloud instead of just doing it.
Indeed.
I now just have that on a ghost.
Yep, I have had it prepped for ages, yeah. And it's on the Cottontail Ghost or whatever it's called now, so I know how to find it.
Same.
I
have the designated Vanguard Ghost, the designated Crucible Ghost, etc.
I used to have a full set. I got lazy about it. Now I just basically have like the one that has a ghost, an armor mod on it, and the one that has Vanguard, and the others are like allegedly prepped, but not really used.
It only costs enhancement cores to fully.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, so why don't I just upgrade these? I should just.
Yeah, I just recommend having like a bunch of like your favorite exotics in every character.
Yeah, how many enhancement cores do I have? Oh, only 916. Oh, boo-hoo.
I'm back over 1,000 after briefly not being over 1,000.
2,066.
I probably have enough enhancement cores just tied up in bottom dollars to put me over 1,000.
That's stocks.
I am launching Warden now.
Donks.
And what, so yeah, I think the only tricky bits here are mines and boss really, and bosses just burn the living shit out of them, which we should be good at.
Yeah.
I will hold well for you. Oh, I will try to have well when we get there.
Well.
And yeah, those will be our insurance policies. But like again, we should just nuke the shit.
Yeah,
out
we
of it.
successfully burned it on our other run, even though I died very quickly because I ran out of lament bullets.
Oh. Yeah, I think it's generally been doable even before now, and like we're as
it was with Fast was doing fusion grenades shenanigans. So.
Oh, that's fun.
That was doing very good.
How you living, hotshot? I thought you and your ghost might come back.
Escaped inmates are talking town on the reef. We've got to deal with it.
Good teamwork. Oh, Ark.
Then you'll want to take out the Warden's servant.
Why is the floor
It's
lava?
going haywire.
I love these first few enemies. These first enemies just get annihilated.
Prison of Elders welcomes.
Didn't even get to turn into champs.
Score Warden. Yes.
Ow.
Don't mind the PA. That's the Warden's servitor. Thing shorted its brain when the Warden left the prison. It thinks it is the Warden.
Just done it over there. We'll clear some more ads out. You can damage
It's
if you want.
running a combat subroutine called Challenge of the Elders.
Oh. I love the 2 trace rifles hitting it. It makes me really happy. I don't know why.
I've been really enjoying that in like matchmade stuff recently, because like it's not all the time, but like enough of the time people are running like prom lens or something and like matchmade heroes or like patrols and stuff. And like div and like prom lens and something just looks funny. It's very like crossing the streams, Ghostbuster shit.
Laser pointers.
We need to get the Void one and really like make a team like theme out of it. One of these. Like what's the final GM we need to do again?
Let's move this
can we do that?
We could.
Can we do that as a bit?
It's a bit of a waste because we don't have any overloads. We could totally do it.
Watch for oncoming transports.
That's what I meant.
Incoming.
It is something we could do.
Mage sure this was the last one then. How sad.
And
Especially since there are void shielded enemies.
so it wouldn't be the worst. I'm gonna try to deactivate the train.
I love wells. Yum yum yum.
Tastes delicious.
Sparrowing responsibly or something. Getting barrel far.
Successfully assassinated.
I feel like it's taking more. I thought for a second I was taking just more damage than I expected. I think I'm just
Oh, that was silly.
not used to GM damage so early in the day.
I haven't played Destiny
Not the
in like
champion
4
time I
days.
thought it was gonna be.
Oh, I can't help with that one.
I thought this would be an overload. It's definitely a Minotaur in the normal one, which usually...
Yeah, you're not wrong, but I think they switched that because that's a weird platform and they can't run at you. You know?
Oh, I get... No, you know what? They changed. They must have changed it because it kept running into the tracks and getting run over by the train.
Oh, right. Do you remember when it used to like do that weird shuffle?
I do not remember far back enough, probably. This is probably before my time.
Like, the champions could get pushed by the train. In fact, this unstop up here, like, I think people used to get it pushed by the train and you could see it, like, do weird shuffle steps. Occasionally.
Yeah, I have run this before today, but I do not remember when. And I have to check my resources.
There we go.
You're going through this remarkably casually. This doesn't feel that bad. It's like
I have learned from my mistakes.
It is two of the easiest ones in the set, so.
Bonk.
And like even corrupted did not take us that many tries, honestly. I don't know if I said that enough when we
This
ran
is
it,
one
but,
of
like,
the Vex cell blocks.
we did real
The
well
Awoken
against it.
dragged all kinds of subtypes out of their hoods. The ones that survived are some tough sons.
Ah, the room. This is one of the rooms right here.
I love Drifter's nonsense about Vex gangs.
Put them in my jeans. Biker
Oh,
gang attire.
I'm just gonna, like, bubble right here, give this some love.
Oh. That's fun. The gunpowder ball grenade doesn't have collision with the trains. It just went straight through it.
Oh, that makes sense, sure. Like, that sounds really... Oh, I got killed by the...
Whoa!
Back up, I think.
Don't do that.
The bubble went down when I wasn't expecting it. I was so low.
Yeah, that was bad.
We'll go for it, Allie. No, that should go in.
To the left.
I am backing down on the ramp, I think.
Yeah, I want to get rid of all the little things before. That goblin's about to get run over by a train, but if it gets past it, we're in trouble.
I got sniped and then splashed.
Nope.
Yep, I saw it happen.
I cannot handle the barrier on the right, so we should help with that after the left one at some point.
Yeah, we should be a little bit better.
Ow. Well, there's a barrier dead at least.
You should get me over it. I'm relatively safe.
Yeah.
Going to try and get this Hydra real quick. Like, no, I'm just gonna get it.
Yeah, that little left platform has now just got one goblin on it at least.
gonna hit. Oh, the goblins.
Deadliest motherfucker in this strike.
I would love to hit any of my crits.
Dead.
Going for Captain Lee.
Thank you.
Okay. Quantum, friends in the back.
That's the lead.
We have a Minotaur below.
Yeah. Let's see if it comes up around the stairs.
It'll try.
Here it is behind me. It's right here. It's right here. Right here.
Target Guardian.
Or be killed.
Okay. And almost is. Get this. You ass! Fuck you,
Ready the shit out of you.
motherfucker!
Oh, wasn't that consolation?
Any idea how much those knives
Yeah, if I knew you were going to cast that, I wouldn't have shot at the
Is
man.
not the launch.
Because what causes that teleport is us doing damage.
Red
Is that it?
Flag.
Okay.
What have
Yeah.
they been up to after the war?
I know the first
Yeah.
one's timed, but
Getting stomped. The
Not
Cabal
like
he was
power
that much of a
now
problem.
I thought
resides in
it was like
orbit
timed based
around
on like when
Nessus
we started doing
in a
damage to it.
giant
what, I mean when it teleports to the middle is timed. I wasn't sure what happened
yeah.
after that.
No, I thought like, yeah, he'll teleport again, but it's either a damage gate or it's timed based on like when you started doing damage.
I would believe either of those.
Champion is big.
Scions are on my shit list after my duality runs.
See, the opposite for me because they were my source of invisibility. I was simply throwing knives at them and one-shotting them and getting health.
The hammers also one-shot them, but that didn't help me as much as the snipers.
No assassin's cowl for hammers.
My strategy for getting the buffs in Kaido, well, he was a rift anyways, was just to like stand on their platform as I came across, or no, jump up across to them, and then
Oh, I'm dead. Watch
one-shot
out, no
them with a
bubble.
hammer every time.
Oh, yep, back off. There's still an unstoppable
Uh-huh.
get to you eventually, but... most of the room is probably just going to make its way to you.
I'm probably gonna work down the end stuff before I go up. I'm just trying to get the ISO
Yeah.
first.
Oh, it's upset.
At least it loves my corpse.
It's also one of the better enemies to have left to deal with. I'm not gonna have much heavy left, but that's probably fine.
Oh, it's on you. Nope, there we go.
Yeah, even if it
Keeps
wasn't
doing
this-
its celebration animation.
From this distance also, like I have enough time to stun it, is the thing.
Yeah, it was fair.
Having done it dance with Unstopped and Masters a lot of times.
I'm actually finding heavy ammo this time around, which is very useful. I didn't see a single heavy brick last time, which is why I had like 12 bullets left for the boss.
Oh, it's just a regular guy. Void.
Void.
This is neat as some way yogurt.
I thought there was a way over on the left, but I guess I remember this was wrong.
Oh yeah, I guess I always assumed that these two connected to each other with the doors closed. Ow. There we go.
No ammo for me, I think.
Well, door's open, so
I'm about half on super.
I am close.
Oh, well, if it feels appropriate, I guess. I also shoot mines when you see them
we
when it's
can-
safe, but
That's one of the
This
things I
time,
usually do first is like for the enemies and just go mine hunting for a little bit.
we also have time.
Yeah,
while
these
we
two are
kill
occupied. There's a sniper up there I'd like to kill. There we go.
Of course, not totally ignore enemies. You have to.
Yeah, let's just slowly volley the unstopped down while taking shots at our stuff. Oh, it's coming. I'm not stunned in position. Got it.
Almost.
I'm having this. Thank you. I'm going on an adventure.
Stunning the overload, I guess. Unstunned.
God damn it. Physics.
I'm going to back off
it's
it.
looking the wrong way, yeah. I'm coming to you.
Well, barrier is at least more interested in the other barriers than anything else. The other two barriers are looking in your direction now.
Yep, I can see it off to the right. Try to circle and get captain actually for this.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if this is one of those ones where you kill one barrier and then the encounter starts.
I
That
don't
could be
remember. I think it would be both, and also my concern is it's hard for us to take these down, just the two of us.
Yeah.
You are safe enough.
Yep, they are. Here we go.
Rift.
Oh, that one spat out ammo at me.
We are dead.
Okay, yeah, so it does.
Alright,
Yeah.
gather. I think we want to gather at this door right here.
Okay.
Yep, there's a bunch
There
of
are enemies
little
coming out
things.
of it, by the way.
The champions are on
We
the
kill
other
it
side.
immediately, if I recall.
Round 2.
Kill him. Yeah.
Dismantle mines. Yes. Or
Yeah, so it's a
Then
very
Champions
close.
on the other side.
Yep. We're gonna do like this.
I'm gonna do a while here.
Oh, power bonus +1. Good for me.
You should kill that barrier.
Working on it. Good.
Captain's working on B, I guess.
I'm trying.
Oh, we already
got
got the
on
middle one.
Yeah, I already got it.
Oh, damn. This is really fast. I'm really used to slow rolling this.
I guess Captain can do all the capping while we do. Did you? Did
I
I
have
I
eight.
found it once.
Okay, then we just this guy to give me invisible. There we go.
You got 10 to get over there.
Oh, 6 seconds. Oh.
I'm leaving.
victory.
Diffuse.
That was something.
There we go. Oh boy.
Still, Manto's still up. Be careful. Okay, now it's not.
Yep, there it's gone.
Excellent. That was amazing. Good job,
Easy
Captain.
peasy.
I would hesitate to call that a strategy, but it did work.
Eh.
Hey.
Maybe
Okay,
more
I'm
accurately, it was
saving
not a
most of
single
Alright,
strategy. It was
I
several
remember
miles.
backing up to like over where I'm at and dealing with this like carefully from over here.
A
But,
mighty cabal. Challenge.
you know,
No timer on that, so we can just take it as we
Yeah.
want, I think.
Are the enemies endlessly respawning?
no.
I don't
I think we just have the set.
The funny reason I ask is because they are in the actual Prison of Elders, which is actually more recent in my mind.
Oh,
The actual Prison of Elders is also still harder, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, actual Prison of Elders is rough.
We did like, I don't know, like the not quite top tier in our D1 trip, and it was an adventure.
It is spawning enemies, and it doesn't care how many are already out. It will simply keep putting more out.
So funnily enough, there is like a little window that you can shoot the boss right here that you can shoot you.
He also can't hit me which is nice.
He's dead.
He's hitting the wall before me, but not me.
And things despawn. That was, you know, I'm just gonna say that was smooth and not make any
it was incredibly
concrete statements.
My only critique about it is that we were like uncoordinated, but it turned out that wasn't actually a problem.
Stand proud.
Oh yeah, you know, the timer hitting 0 and not exploding, not a problem.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I think the only difference between that and what we did before is that I went for B and the other two just stood on C.
Calls to you.
Yeah, I think actually, I think we were focused on the champions, which maybe we didn't need to once we damaged them at all. And yeah, we could have rotated to C along the back while you were still doing B.
Yeah, we've like the other difference is that we might get platinum.
Alright, so to not die, I remember having only one person go down.
It's one at a time.
I think generally spacing people out works well enough. Like I just jumped, but sure.
You're not wrong. You are totally not wrong.
That's how I avoid dying during match mates.
Yep.
I don't avoid dying. I simply wish I would die. In match made, I want to see who dies.
Fair enough.
But she made me laugh.
I usually ballistic slam or
That's the
phoenix
backup
dive.
control room, where the Warden's servitor keeps his closest.
I love the implication from the lore here that like Drifter knew the trickster and she was just doing like practical jokes all the time.
It's just some asshole.
I think we want to take him out from here, at least one of them,
Yeah.
and then the next one will spawn the boss. I'm gonna...
Well, we need to take out at least 2 of them and then jump down, because if we don't, they'll respawn. That's what I remember, unless they fix that. Like if we're not in the arena, they respawn.
We can jump down after we get this overload done.
Okay, and then I can probably...
Barrier on left, barrier on right. Unstop in the middle. Gonna stun the unstop for a second. We don't have to prioritize that, but I want to make sure it's not going to murder the shit out of Captain. Unstunned.
Holy shit. Holy shit. I was literally using the barrier as a shield from the Colossus's machine gun.
Strategy.
That wasn't. That was killed by
we
the
need to get.
Onyx.
Okay. We need to think about this a tiny bit. So kill the thing, get Captain.
I think the mistake I've made here is that the slam is simply not that powerful, but it will always physic you directly downwards.
It's gonna give us an overshield. Well, that works.
Damn it. Be careful.
Okay. Less ideal. Is it just hanging out there?
It's watching me, but I think you can just res me and hope, I guess.
I think move to your left as fast as you can.
I can spend my well on this, but I don't know if it'll
I have
save
a bubble.
me.
I think if you stun it, you can probably get me up in time then.
You have to stun it first is the thing. I need this ammo. Tell you what.
Okay.
I'll go for the res.
Come on.
Run.
Oh, I thought you were gonna finish that.
I didn't know it was vulnerable enough to be finished.
There we go.
Oh, I thought Captain. Like that's all.
I revived facing the other way.
Bubble, 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 bubble. Looking down, shit.
Strategist.
Come on. Please die.
Hide and
Dead. Excellent. Good job. Hey, I got the next step in the quest. I got all the silver shard thingies, and I need to do the kindling collection.
I'll bring the ship into
You
transit.
can see I've been doing the season.
Hey, I might be looking for someone to watch my back one of these days. To bring some major heat
I've
to
been
a
busy,
gunfight.
okay?
Yeah, fair enough.
I did all my grinding
I'll
this
be in
character already,
touch.
but this is a totally valid way to do it.
Or at least
What does
heating
mine
up
have?
kill point.
Let me look at this.
Hitting up kill clip. This is solid. This is fine. Like Accuro's rounds, hitting up kill clip, reload masterwork.
I'm gonna look at mine briefly and then do a quick table trip, and then stuff.
Ooh, this is not a terrible one. Zen moment, under pressure, high impact. Yeah, under pressure, high impact. Not bad.
It's a bad stompies. Goodbye.
Okay, going to the crafting table. I have something I want to spend on. If you two don't care or don't want to, that's totally fine.
I'm gonna plug
I can look at my gear real quick.
Remember.
I think I was gonna do it on the shotgun, which looks kind of cool. The seasonal one.
The one seasonal gun I haven't crafted yet.
I have everything but Beloved and both dungeon guns at this point. The other question I was trying to answer is, what arc pulse do I already favor, and can horrors least become it?
Insidious?
Oh, yeah, so no, is the answer.
Yep. Insidious is pretty fucking good.
I'll keep it as an... Actually, I can't even keep it as an adept, I don't think, because I have that too. A one for all Dragonfly one with demo.
Yeah.
What archetype is this again? Let's take a look.
Well, I mean, the unspoken context is like my new policy of like, you have to really prove yourself to me if you want me to have like 2 slots on the gun.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to...
And archetypes don't tend to break that, but...
I don't know. I have a hard... Like, rapid fire frames, like... I've started having some, like, wrist and hand problems in rapid fire frames. You know, automatically having, like, automatic stuff feels good.
That's fair.
I'm gonna, like, waste a mod on that.
That is totally reasonable.
Yeah.
I don't think the rapid fire pulses have the automatic full auto.
I think one of them does. I forget which class does.
No, the pulses do not. I don't know if there is a specific pulse that does, but generally speaking, that archetype doesn't.
You might be thinking of the you might be thinking of the Vice Scouts, but I don't know if there's a pulse equivalent.
Yeah, it sounds like it should, but it doesn't. And the reason I'm remembering is because I just used Peace of Mind recently, and I had to hammer it so hard with my fucking finger.
Well, at least you saved me from equipping it, pulling the trigger, shooting not more than once. Me being
I'm a
like,
genius. Oh no.
Being very confused.
Well, that sounds like a problem for later Yogurt then.
Just trying to find anything I haven't got a...
What is the ship in the shop? I have not looked at Eververse yet. Oh, I need this final
I
instar.
have like 10,000 Bright Dust. I'm not sure what I want to spend it on at this point.
Well, you know my Bright Dust situation. I can buy whatever, whenever. Something.
God, I loved it. I didn't refresh Dim after doing the applying the memento, so I transferred the shotgun back to my other character, and Dim transferred the old one, which doesn't exist anymore. And then I refreshed, and it was back in my character because they transferred the old one that doesn't exist anymore.
Ooh.
Let's see.
Okay. So that's where the friendship arms went.
I got new fancy pants of some kind that I need to look at later.
Got a firefight with focused fury and 4 times the charm. No.
Void.
But also maybe yes. Real unfortunate it came with high cal rounds because that will do nothing. It's either appended mag or high cal rounds. And the high cal rounds sound fun, except for combined with 4 times and focused fury. It'll do nothing but flinch your like whatever you're shooting at, which works against those 2 perks. It's very funny.
I feel like the answer here is I run Arbalest, so I'm trying to think if there's a different answer.
Well...
Alright, now I can
I could run Bastion.
Oh yeah, we need...
Yeah, who among us is going to... Wait, hang on, are we doing LFRs or rockets? Actually, is
Wait, what was
I feel like they're equivalent now at this point, but we're doing Arms Dealer.
Arms Dealer.
With the big old funicular.
Not this season, I didn't. One of you might have. Well,
Why do
sorry, I know
feel
one
like
of
we
you did, but
Arms dealer.
I feel like I'm always doing arms dealer. I can do arms dealer in my sleep.
I can't speak to what
do
you've
I
done
feel-
on or off stream, but I can tell you that my thing says.
Why do I feel like we did arms dealer earlier? Why do I feel? Did we do
I
it
think
last
we,
season
I think
and
us
just
crew
not
have
really
done
nail it?
arms dealer.
Let
Like
me
this
check.
crew, we have done arms dealer, but not this
Actually,
season.
one moment. I need to get up. One moment.
Sparkletone informs that no pulses have the full auto perk.
Terrible shit.
Ooh.
Also, hi Sparkle.
Wait, isn't that fix actually due next season? Roughly.
I don't recall that they gave that firm a deadline, but I would have to check. They have confirmed they are actively working on it. It is just taking longer than they expected or hoped. Arms dealer was last season, also.
Yes, we've definitely, as a crew, done arms dealer.
I think last season was our first time as a crew, also. So I filled in for Sparkle's team, 14 or 15.
I am remembering the things that happened last time as well, such as having, it was before they fixed Palmyra, having a really, really short, slow ball velocity stat, to the point where it was in fact slower than the funicular, so as soon as you fired it, it exploded.
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
They should never fix that. I miss slow Palmyra.
So I mean, yeah, we're gonna nuke him on the elevator regardless, and I do know the backup plan for if we don't. I don't know if there's a strong preference between rock or. Let me rephrase it. I'm not sure if there's a correct answer between rockets or all-fires for that situation. I feel like either would work.
What's the burn? This will help decide.
Solar.
Solar. I think that makes me think cataclysmic.
Yeah. I know why I think we did arms dealer recently. I watched the VOD from last season recently. That's what did it. That's why it was in my brain. Like, didn't we do this recently?
I guess I'm just gonna run Arbalest Aisha's Cataclysmic.
Unstop.
And if I have the presence of mind, I will be beta switching on the elevator to get that little bit of extra damage.
Yeah, unstop area. Can I do anything fancy? Still don't have much choice for exotic glaives. Like at this point, like I don't really want to equip my.
Wow, this is really so. Like, I don't know what this says about the state of like how strong like one Titan exotic is, or just like I don't know. Like my loadout has basically changed only like 2 or 3 weapons this entire time.
This entire session,
whereas
or like the whole like season, you mean?
All season.
Okay.
Like I mean for high-end content,
Sure.
I should say. Yeah. Like I've only swapped out weapons for like situational stuff, but for the most part it's chest piece. These mods.
Yeah, I've also been pretty static on Assassin's Cowl and a very specific.
I mean, I've run the snap build on everything. I thought I have like a void build in reserve, but
like I was using Lament a lot anyway, and then they decided to make it a season of solo. Like, fuck else
that would do it.
And I'm like, is it just that I can get away with it? Is it that this is too strong, or is it?
Probably, I mean, the cop out and maybe also the true answer is that it might be multiple. Like, it probably is a strong build, like, and like there's reason to just like stick with one of those and like alter to taste. Really, like you don't have to come up with a bespoke thing every time.
Yeah.
But also, it's possible some of it's just like a lot of things are strong right now. So like it could also just be like, yes, that's a bit too strong. Like, see me running Arbalest still, even though, like,
it's like, I know this isn't even, like, the most powerful thing, because I know, like, the Loreley is still strong. Like, I could just stand in sunspots and not die. Still. Or did they really tune that down?
It still works pretty well, based on my very recent dungeon
Yeah,
experience.
you're still very, very hard to kill when you're wearing the helmet.
The only problems I had are, like, being hit too much through it before it had time to proc, like, against the dogs. Or just not having a barricade up, which is why I started running double Kickstarter in that dungeon.
It's like, this isn't even like the most optimized build I could be doing, and it still just feels very strong.
How do we feel about launching, also?
I am pretty good at launching. I'm also now running Arbalest, and I now have Jurassic Green for barriers.
So, I guess Sniper Resist is fine.
I would do Sniper Solar, maybe Sniper Dying Star.
Yeah, I have Dying Star.
Star.
Is there a reason not to use Arbalest? I don't think so. There's not a
No, I do
reason
not
not to
think
use
there isn't a
Cataclysm.
reason.
It is slightly
It's
worse against
all-
champions, but it's still very good.
Yeah, there's still all Void and Solar, I think. No Arc, so I should embrace
Once
the
again,
time.
as solar as I could possibly be, including 3 stacks of Fond of Mine with elemental time dilation.
Actually, never mind. I was gonna say there are Arc Fallen, but nope, those aren't there anymore.
And I think the only notes of this I remember are just like slow and steady most of it. One orb runner when it's appropriate. And in the open outside area, that's a patrol zone. We head up the left, and then fight from like
do
on
like
the
a
ramp.
little sneak, like through the gap in the ramp. Yeah.
We don't even need to skip the champions. Like we'll just get there. Like
Yeah, once you
kill-
get into the entrance, you can pick off the champion from inside the entrance pretty safely.
And there'll be a sign like on the way, but we can get it from like as we jump up to be there, like on the edge of the platform, and then we'll head up to the ramp, and then we'll fight from the ramp, and then And the tank room is like, mind the shots, don't have sparrows near it, but like it's not that big a deal anymore. Yogurt, you sounded ready, so I'm gonna push the button unless you stop me.
Nope, I'm good.
Alright, let's roll. I don't even have a menu anymore, I just have the one GM.
This is the one you're doing. No options.
No option to challenge the Grandmaster himself.
God. Cursed Grandmaster. Someone should have done fan art on that. It would have been such a niche thing, but just like drawn that menu, but it's just like subtly more horrifying, or maybe it's a GIF that like flickers a little bit in a way that's unsettling.
Like underneath where like they sometimes put the logo for the mission, like underneath the text of it, it's just a vague silhouette of some strange fusion of all champions.
Yeah.
Was there a first Grandmaster race on Twitch? I just didn't watch it.
Usually for an operation like this, Zavala
Or
provides
Conquer, I should say.
Not that I know of. I don't think
I have made a
people
terrible
really-
mistake.
Can
Go to Warden. I have 2 barrier things,
You mean the Brock is on
and I
board
absolutely
with all
could just be
weapons?
running an unstop.
Off to a
I
great
think I
start,
heard you
Mr.
say that, and I
Bogart.
said nothing, so maybe I'm also going to blame you.
Right. Yep, that makes sense. I do not need that.
You said
Instead,
you're
I
running
will
a
be
pulse, and I'm
running-
like, yes, okay, fair enough. You run a barrier pulse because I don't know.
See, I would be running a barrier pulse if I could put a glaive in my kinetic slot. They won't let me because they won't give me that sort of power.
One day.
Bastards.
One day I'll feel a disturbance in the forest, and I'll know that a stasis glaive has been released.
They'll put it in the fucking raid probably. That's the sort of cool, new, exciting thing.
It'll be the raid exotic.
Oh hell yeah! You know
Will
what?
they make
Fuck
it
yes.
a heavy or will
Fuck
they make
yes.
it a kinetic is the real question.
A heavy glaive would also
Or-
be fucking
Or I
right.
should say, put in the heavy slot or put in the kinetic slot, sorry.
Well, I mean, I think both again. Like, I think they'll do. I think they seem. Are you ready to go back in, Captain?
Yes, I am ready. I now have Aisha's embrace. It
They
is
seem-
unstoppable.
Pretty what's what I'm looking for? Like committed to just like doing like everything in stasis slot at some point at this point.
Yeah, it'll get there.
But also like exotic heavy glaive. I think it would have to be exotic. Does feel viable. I think the only thing they have to do is like make a strong case for like why that isn't just a sword. And I know like being a glaive it wouldn't quite be, but like I think you need to like pitch it correctly as like yes, this is a distinct thing.
We have
this
to do
does even
something that
function.
does something really weird.
Yeah.
Right, especially since we already have ranged swords. That's already a thing, so...
Yeah, but also, who uses those?
You also can technically
Like,
use
as a
swords for
joke,
ammo.
sometimes, yes.
I like those the ranged swords a lot, but like, there's no reason to use those.
Okay, fire team. There's a lot to cover as your official operative in the strike against Brock is
Hey,
on,
kid.
so we better get started. Item the
Ow.
first.
Strike's been
Domed by
started for a
something.
while.
There's a barrier in the background, and I think there's also one ad somewhere.
Yeah, there's the barrier, or not, unstopping.
Please unstop. There we go. I gotta finish.
What is? Oh, it's shooting yoga. Okay.
Yeah, it's trying to, it's hitting terrain forces.
I instinctively went up to try and stab it with my lament. I don't have that.
No.
No more enemies in here. There are plenty
See, when I remember to
outside,
do
though.
bait and switch
Get
all
me
the
to a
time, it makes the
console and we'll
damage
get
that
out
much
there.
better. Now that I spent several hours, among other things, practicing bait and switch over and over again.
Unfortunately, the giant ship up there that is about to appear doesn't have a crit
Did
spot,
you shoot
so...
up a flare? I thought we weren't allowed to have flares anymore after it had
Are you
nothing
sure?
to do with why we're not allowed.
Well,
to
if we
have
just haven't
flares.
hit the right spot yet.
It wasn't us. It was the
Well, the weak spot of a Thresher is, of course, the pilot, but unfortunately that is not exposed.
You should be able to shoot the power of anti-barrier.
Yeah.
Played a lot of Shipbreaker. I know the weak parts of ships.
Yeah, they're clearly labeled.
Clearly labeled. Really easy to accidentally hit.
Crossover with
ways
Shipbreaker
that are
where we...
ill-advised.
Destiny crossover with Shipbreaker where we take apart the helm.
God.
It does need to at least be fumigated, if not simply sent to a scrapyard.
Yep.
Training for this.
Chomp.
The sniper up on the left somewhere. I see it.
And
Bye.
usually pops up.
Pushing off the edge.
Rip and Neoprotes.
Having unstop on scouts is so fun.
Yep.
There is
I
still
love just bullying
two-
enemies into the distance. It's great.
Oh, hope we didn't like being on that ledge.
has appeared.
It's very like I'm not hitting you like type annoying. Like, oh, am I sending you back like a millimeter every shot? That must be so rough for you. You must hate this.
Sorry you're so tough. If you would just die faster, this wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, that's not quite where I wanted that. Still hit though.
Still not a listen slug shooter hiding behind this one crate.
I have a bubble already. What in the world? What
I
is
need to
this?
back off. And I'm pushing this
There we
up.
go, there's the slug shooter.
That last tank didn't finish refueling before it got careless.
Amanda told me Cabal fuel is a pretty good accelerant.
That is still my least favorite line in the strike, which I assume was client side, but like, he says Cabal fuel is a pretty good accelerant. It's like, yeah, no shit, it's fuel. That's what
Yeah.
it does.
Most fuel is a good accelerant.
I
This
would
is
be
like where I
confused if it
could,
wasn't.
well, actually, but let's not.
Don't you chemistry me.
She grabbed it.
Well, like, uranium is fuel. However, I wouldn't say it's a good accelerant.
Is this uranium? Should I put this down?
Yes and no. Respectively.
If I can get a finisher with this champ, I can simply run up there and jump this thing and get back to some
what do I make it?
Oh,
He was gonna restart was the problem, I think there.
I can finish a Scion if you broke it.
I'm gonna try to get that pressure out of our life.
Bye,
Oh,
Thresher.
never mind. Pressure is relocated.
Ah, regret. Throw disc. Throw grenade disc. Give me overshield. Damn it.
Everything that's finishable keeps running away from
I somehow lived.
It knows better.
it. There's a dog behind this cover. There's another one coming to kill you.
I have solved the dog.
We did it! And we did it!
Ow!
How's it going, Captain?
Yeah.
Not blowing up is as good as you can hope for sometimes.
Guardian back.
From the stars.
I am leaving.
Yep. I have never stood on that platform long enough to notice that it is in fact on fire and burning you whilst you are standing on it once you
Yeah,
ignite
that's
it.
that is the accelerant. Burning.
I guess I've usually just gotten off it.
Yeah, I guess in non-GMs usually have the time to actually do that.
I think in non-GMs it hurts you less and stuff.
Oh, and probably also, but like, I think reaction time is the key differentiator there. Or being allowed to have reaction time, I guess.
It is in fact solar burn and the environment gets that.
That's true.
It's a sign around that corner.
I always kind of thought of these as like debuffs to our player rather than like modeled as like them doing
Again, that
more
probably
damage.
is what that is.
I would be very curious to ask them if they could ever clarify like how to think of it. Like, this is very niche information for only.
It would not surprise me if they implemented it that way. Like, that feels totally viable.
Yeah, the burn would entirely work as a thing applied to the player because it's increasing solar damage dealt just buff the damage you deal and extra damage received, so you just take it reduces your solar resistance.
Yeah, like also,
as opposed to buffing the enemies.
And the fact that like work both ways like makes sense that they would like have had to implement both of those sides. Like, we have a system to make enemies take more damage for different reasons. We have a system to make players take more damage.
Think we've seen the last of them.
And you know, if they have managed to wrangle the code into a nice state, like you could like generalize that to like, oh, we have resistances that work this way, and we have this things that work this way.
She's totally right, which is why I work alone.
Here we go. Getting to the second hard part, or was this the first hard part?
Well,
Depends how you feel about this.
Yeah, funny
We gonna go do the lost sector?
You wanna?
I can legit never find the entrance to this one, which always confuses me.
Will I make it up?
Two of them very close to each other. It didn't help that they had the bug where one of them simply started the other one.
Oh, ow.
I simply jumped up.
Okay.
Okay, you do it nice.
Yeah, and I do one of these.
Did it try to stop me from that distance?
Yeah.
That'll let you know.
I think the sloping of the like ramp made it think that you were closer than you actually.
That outlawed sniper almost killed me.
Good thing it's dead.
I need this special.
Did we get? Okay, I was gonna say, did we get the one champion?
The champion is
Yeah,
dead.
it's just one guy. Do not park your sparrows by the door.
Of course.
Yep. Park your sparrows somewhere nice and safe, like
Never
perhaps-
done something so reckless before in my life.
fences in there. Not just plain
Never ever.
fucking real.
Personally, I never do reckless things. I just opt out of it.
They need to stay focused.
I love talking over the narration, telling us to stay focused.
Absolutely not.
No sign of sound.
Never been focused in my life, and I'm not starting now.
Forward and up.
I do have focus
You've all
fury.
made an elevator that goes forward? Man, they are inefficient.
No, wait, I don't. I have bait and switch. Never mind. That Goliath tank is almost dead. Somebody blinked on one of its legs.
Huh, this is bad.
Yeah.
I'm in a bad spot. Get out of my bubble.
Oh, I thought there was Captain up there, which is why I was not as worried about it.
Yeah.
See, I expect Captain to be in weird, out of the way places.
A grenade
I
killed
live.
him
It's
before
fine.
my knife could.
Alright, tank is almost dead, looks like.
Just need to break one leg. There it goes.
Good. Well,
Maybe reasonably safe to get the switch, but also no hurry.
they paid for coming into my bubble, so it all worked out.
I'm just gonna do it slowly.
I'm getting the first switch.
Hey, Kate. 10 Glimmer says there's a tank on that elevator.
What kind of bed is 10 Glimmer also?
You're on.
Also critiquing
It's enough to
literally
fabricate like... It's like fabricating a Mars bar or something.
You could probably make a pitch like that's a reasonable amount of Glimmer for like a person to use, but Guardians like deal in larger amounts because they're functionally rich.
If that's a
And or
reasonable
backed by
amount
the
for a
state.
regular person, like, is that equivalent to 10 pounds or 10 pence?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Guardians are dealing like thousands or tens of thousands because like they need to outfit like guns and shit.
We are also
mercenaries.
capped. Our wealth is in
What
fact
we are.
capped, however.
That is true.
God, what does happen to our wealth?
The Vanguard steps in and says you're not allowed to own more money than this. We've seen what happens. Rip and piss.
3 unstops in the elevator. Remember?
That's Oh, who's? Oh, I'm spacing on the name. I was gonna. Oh, lore. Dang it. New Monarchy. Who is the dude? Ah.
Executive
Shit.
Hideo.
Dude.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Before the guy that they're trying to install. The actual monarch.
I thought that's who it was. Unless I'm missing my
No.
people.
Or.
again.
Oops. Hang on.
Googling who is the new monarchy monarch.
I'm going to push the
And
button.
it's coming up with the actual new
Like the
monarchs
guy who
from
was
actual real life.
exiled like before, like
Another
just eons
tank.
ago.
There was another tank.
That was
on
the dude. They're like, you have too much money. No money.
It locked onto just one specific phalanx.
Oh, fuck that guy, I guess. Just gonna repeatedly bully the champions. One's unleashed.
Champions unleashed.
Back up down the stairs, I think.
Backing up, trying to get the tank before we go all the way downstairs.
I'm gonna focus on keeping the champions done as best I can.
Yep.
Let's shut this
Tank, why won't you die?
Oh, I realize a mod I should have had on. It's not critical, but I do not have the ignition one.
I've got a better angle on the tank. I don't have an angle on the tank.
Okay. Tank is still up. Champions are dead?
Yep.
Yep.
That's all good. Tank dead.
There we go, there's the legs, and there's just the unsanctioned blaster.
Dang.
Blasting as usual.
So much you're really telling me he's not allowed to do that. It's against the law.
Calling Keitel. There's someone blasting here. They can't do
So
that.
anyway,
That's
when
illegal.
he started blasting.
If blasters are unsanctioned, only unsanctioned will have blasters.
What do you mean he's blasting? That's illegal. They can't do that.
Hi. Like I said, on War Beast on site. They got me during 2 different damage phases, because I was just like not. I did not.
Imagine the
get off
Cabal
enough.
markets now in the city selling Cabal War Beast puppies.
Aw. I think you could have War Beasts that were nice.
Yeah, that's
There
what
is
I
that
mean.
one guardian who
Keitel had
has a
one.
war beast.
You just need to
Keitel
not
had-
outfit them with armor, and also
It's
not
one
teach
of
them to be
it's one of
soldiers.
Catabass's mates, isn't it?
That
It's the other
sounds
Catabass's
plausible.
friend has the war beast.
Remember to gently but firmly bully the boss away.
Yep.
I guess.
And also, yeah, I think going the
Or
right.
maybe this was
Yeah.
a bit aggressive.
I think this works. Just gotta be careful with how far you go out.
Aggression.
And there is a champion somewhere up there, I think, besides one single.
Yeah, there's an unstop.
Okay, solar turrets are up. Sure.
Oh, despawned. Didn't know they did that.
Champions in the pit, I think.
He's freaking shot from behind. Oh no,
There's a
that's
barrier
our
up top that is.
Oh, there is an unstopped blind as well.
Okay.
I don't think there's a ramp for it to get up to us.
No.
I think we could
just
find a
very
way
upset
eventually,
at
but
them.
we can definitely bully it pretty safely from here.
If I find a way, I think that's. They just.
Ow.
I'm not sure it would be forced to for where it's at, but we'll see. Because the mechanic doesn't quite work that way, but I'm at a loss to describe how I think it does work. Oh, goodbye to that failing sickness.
Yeah, like enemies never teleport when they're not supposed to, right?
Well, no, but yeah, the champions tend to have rules about it, which can work against your favor, but I have no idea where that champion went.
Yep.
I have an idea where that champion went. Okay, we're back to its friends over here.
Oh, it destroyed my little
Makes
barrier.
sense. Dead. Get out of there.
Ow. I peeked out into a lot of fire. I'm trying to make sure there be less legionaries so I don't have to deal with as many grenades.
Yep. That's been my plan as well. Just been trying to get them down.
Bullying front.
Whoosh.
Do not touch the lever. A few more ads to clear anyways, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm still around for the stuff I can grab. I only got 4 cataclysmic shots.
I have decent amount of ammo. I will save well because it won't help on the elevator anyway, and it'll be our all. So what we're gonna do if we don't burn is go to the left, like go up where I'm shooting in that corner, and we work from there. And like if we don't burn him immediately, he will probably be enough that he'll go up and come back down. So it's just a matter of like priority clearing enemies.
I also have a blade barrage I will use.
Okay. And I have the bubble, and you know where that goes. So.
You gonna put it where you're standing now, or in front of that? Okay.
Approximately right here.
Yeah. So I guess
I like.
Go ahead.
So I put it here, and the reason why is because, well, I like to stand here and walk back and forth and use these crates as cover as I shoot. Like if I know the boss is shooting at me, like right as he's about to shoot, I.
So you can probably all start about here when you cast the bubble, and then like I'll probably go to this cover instead. But
try to touch, like, have any part of you in the bubble as long as you can, just to, you know, parry the buff.
Are we all good? Be aware there's a drop pod coming, but here we
It's
go.
gonna be to our left.
Yep.
Hopefully they have bullets for me.
He's up.
Now we've got you, son. In a place you know better than us. But that won't stop us. Let's get him.
Okay, he's at half.
Moving to the corner, I think. I have lost him. He's gonna go up and come back down. Clearing some tail turning south. We have many ads converging on us, as you'd expect.
Yep.
He's back up on the left. Ripped on me.
Come to us.
Well, we have lots of friends right next to us.
Yep.
Come down.
Okay, we now have an orb needs delivery. I have absolutely no bullets.
I'm circling. I need to get some turrets out before I can get to you.
Oh, yeah. Do not come here. At all.
I could get there when I'm invisible, but then
I would not recommend coming near me at all. I am in such a bad place. Like, there are so many dogs and so many turrets.
Well, I'm working on clearing at least one of those things out.
I'm just
dog
making.
come in here.
I'm just making you very aware that I'm in such a bad location.
I am running.
Captain, you have one dog behind you.
Pleasure, Dominic.
You have lots of dogs behind you. Try to pull those dogs behind you.
Good luck.
Oh my goodness.
There are ads near me, but no one's shooting me. Pleasure down.
That's a lot of dogs I just killed with knives.
Good job. That was impressive.
I'm gonna pick this up.
Yeah, I'm gonna let Captain handle the.
If I can get a finish on
Something
the
just
thing,
dropped
then
on?
I'll be invisible.
Oh, yeah.
Here we go.
We had some solar friends drop pod.
I'm still trying to just reduce
much
number of ads.
visibility, but it will happen.
I died to a 1v1. I'm relatively safe. We have many revives as long as we don't do the one thing you can't do.
Yep, we have time, we have revives, so I am not worried. The ball is reset, unfortunately, so that's fine. We'll just let it respawn.
Basically, you just need things to be within finisher range for me to do combos with.
Yeah, assuming it respawned on the others?
No, it's there. It just doesn't have an orb on it saying it's
Got
there.
it. Got it. Good news is, I think Rakazan is almost dead.
Yes.
Found some ammo.
I have a bubble.
I think we got some new ads.
Okay.
Deposited an orb. He's going. Hello. Oh, he's going straight to you, Yoga.
I don't have a shot on him.
Where did he go?
Off the map, I think.
That's not. Oh, he's teleported behind it. He fell into a hole and he's repositioned himself.
He was too close to me when he came back. I am very dead.
He's dead.
Okay, that was so weird. That is fine. I'm not going to think about it too much.
That
Sure
was
is Scuff
all
S17.
clear.
Cool, he managed to kill me anyway.
Yeah, I'm not going to think about what happened too much at all.
Living up to the Scuff S17 this
The
time.
thing is also like not burning him is when the strike is the hardest, so we did pretty well considering, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't see
we
that very
did
often.
pretty okay for you know what, I need to post a screenshot.
And it might, Rocket actually might be the play there just because hitting him is hard at that range is the thing I hadn't considered.
Yeah, something with tracking would be nice.
And y'all are Hornus Solar, and like we could have run like insert Solar Rocket here. And make sure the score screen shows, and then we should go to the tower to show off. And then
Literally wearing my perfect assassin's cowl, and they give me one with 59 stats. Like, what are we even doing here?
I got a Storm Dancers with nothing above 20, and I just sent it directly to the garbage.
I got some Citans with a bad roll. Whatever.
We're going to orbit.
I got a lesser horror's least, so that just means that the one I got that was pretty good can be masterworked.
I gotta double check the two I got, though I think, again, they're probably not long for this world.
Zen moment with Focused Fury? Maybe.
Sounds alright. If you're a Zenpo and like her.
Destiny player ASMR is starting.
Oh,
4.
I guess it really doesn't show the head and or I guess Captain's in the middle of the screen, but I'm trying to show the head in the middle of the air.
Large head.
I like your screenshot of Rakazan. Among the many fun things from my dungeon runs, I got a War Beast corpse that got stuck on like a barricade, like just like it was midair jumping, but just frozen there. Very funny.
I did end up scrolling through old screenshots that I had uploaded to Steam for whatever reason, and there was one from ages ago which is now very pertinent, which is a screenshot of a Cabal in Gambit that had done the thing where it freezes in midair or whatever in a pose when you kill it, and it had frozen in the Callus pose.
Wonderful.
So I had posted the reason Callus isn't around anymore is because he got conscripted.
Sure.
Guess he got out.
Do I need any of these? Probably not. Where's a good posing spot in the... What happened?
Cataclysmic is level 7 now.
Nice.
Whoa.
There we go. Conqueror Guild hit.
I'm trying to think of where is a good place to pose for a shot.
Grandma.
Actually, we can pose... Oh, yeah, that, or we can pose in front of Zavala would also be thematically appropriate, I think.
Zavala will always be here. These decorations will not be.
Come here and let me look at you.
But we can pose directly in front of this... I've got a bad
We
idea.
are, yeah, we are all literally the 3 different classes. I'm gonna stand on top of this hunter.
God, please turn around. Thank you, game. It does let you turn. It's just kind of fidgety about it. Yogi, you should join us at the statues.
On my way.
The problem is I'm not gonna be able to get. There's no angle that will let me get a good shot of this. I don't think. If you do a standing emote, I can get it, Captain. Unless you want to try selfie instead.
I do not have the selfie emote.
Do you want to try an emote that's standing? So I think you might be in frame with what I've got then. That works too. I'm gonna keep taking screenshots as seems appropriate, and we'll figure out which one looks the best. Okay. You're a bit fuzzy because of the angle. That'll work, I think. My camera manipulation has limited power, but it does work.
I think I got it.
They are fighting for the same side.
Okay. It'd be real embarrassing if I ended that with Cataclysm ammo left.
I didn't use mine as effectively as I would have liked, but it worked out, so. Nice. Okay, I think I got enough screenshots.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Nice work, folks. Nice and clean.
Yeah.
Excellent.
A little messy, but we got there, and that's all that really matters.
Was that messy? Really?
It was messy and recovered, which I think is among our many talents, is causing problems and then working out of them. This is also probably end of Destiny streams for this season. I'm gonna go next one probably is gonna be our D1 stuff whenever we do that, and then
Time lost.
the revisited raid, the redacted when they put it in the game.
That's right, Crota's End 2.
I thought people were like memeing when they kept saying redacted in like various chats, and then I realized no, they really didn't tell us.
And they will not tell us until
Yeah.
3 days
We
before.
still
I
know-
thought people were just
know one of the two,
being
but-
kind and not spoil it or something. I was like, well, that's
Honestly, the
that's a
fact
bit
that it's 3
extreme,
days
but
before,
sure.
also, like, I feel like that is fuel for the fire if they've remade Crota's End completely into a completely new raid.
I would applaud it, honestly, because they would have been such a masterful bait and switch that they'd said
Crota's End
we're
2.
not going to do it, it's too small, and it's like, oh, but actually we found a way to make it a compelling dungeon or a compelling raid. Here you go. Right.
Exciting.
The only thing that's stopping me from playing D1 right now is time and $80.
Mostly
They
time
sure
for
do
me.
sell that thing for full price. Mostly.
Yeah.
Plus the online of the platform of your choice.
You can cut it down a little bit because they sell the box for Destiny 1 for like £1 in bargain bins, but then you just have to buy all the DLC for full price.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, I'm going to cut the stream. Thanks for watching, folks.